This morning, very warm outside as you step out, but don't be fooled. Temperatures are going to drop later today, especially if you're headed up into the mountains, because we have an interesting weather situation shaping up in the higher elevations. Kind of iffy in terms of thunderstorms. So we'll talk about that coming up in just a bit.
A little adventure living, outdoor living, and green living all rolled into one. Lincoln Graves. Today's Channel 6 News. Weather is perfect for tonight's event. Let's take a look at current conditions outside right now, because we are looking at very nice temperatures, even hot for some people.
92 in Twin Falls and 91 in Mountain Home. Say goodbye to those temperatures. You won't see them for quite some time. Very good for the weekend. Maybe a chance of thunderstorms up in the mountain locations coming up on Sunday, but overall it should be a really good weekend. If you pour water out over traditional concrete, it tends to spread out, contributing to polluted runoff. If you pour it out over this new pervious concrete, it sinks right into the ground. Country today going to be even better. Memorial Day weekend looking pretty good for the most part for most people, but still a chance of thunderstorms for your weekend if you're heading up to the higher elevations.
Now Lincoln Graves with your precision forecast.
We'll take a look at high temperatures across the nation yesterday. Still a big pocket of cool air in the nation's upper midsection. 54 in Billings yesterday, 54 in Salt Lake, 55 in Boise. For this time of year, we should be at about 68 or 69 degrees, so temperatures definitely below normal. And we're not going to see them warm up to normal for quite some time, but we will still see some very pleasant conditions over the next several days. Outside on Precision Live Doppler, you can see the only moisture showing up, definitely some significant snowfall, some rainfall as well in northwest Montana, not affecting us here in southwest Idaho. If you are traveling to any northern or eastern portions of the state, you may run into some snow showers because of that. We'll take a look at Futurecast in just a moment. Here's a look at current conditions outside. 41 right now in Boise, 31 in Twin Falls, 27 in Pocatello. So a very chilly morning to start off with. We are looking at 20s up in the higher elevations as well. But again, we should see plenty of sunshine, and that should warm up nicely today into the low to mid 60s. Here's that Futurecast I was telling you about. You can see some of that moisture that's in Montana creeping down into some portions of Idaho as it heads south and east into Wyoming, Yellowstone National Park. So again, really you should only be affected by that if you are traveling to those areas. Keep that in mind if you do have any trips planned. As for today in the Treasure Valley, we're looking at 61 in Boise, 62 in Nampa. Very light winds out there, 5 to 13 mile per hour winds. Possibility of some patchy morning fog. We saw that yesterday. We may see it again today. 65 in Weiser, 61 in Caldwell and in Meridian, and 60 degrees in Mountain Home. Up in the west central mountains, a possibility of fog up there as well in the mountain valleys. 52 degrees today in McCall, 57 in Council, 68 in Riggins, with a 59 in Idaho City. We're looking at some breezy conditions over in the central mountains. Wind gusts as high as possibly 25 miles an hour, so it will be a breezy day over there. 48 degrees in Stanley, 47 in Sun Valley, and 46 in Fairfield. For the Magic Valley, we're looking at 5 to 15 mile per hour winds and temperatures still rather cool. We will finally break the 50-degree mark, though, in Twin Falls, 57 degrees in Twin Falls, 53 in Shoshone and in Gooding, and 58 in Burley. Your extended forecast, here's what it looks like. Plenty of sunshine for the next 3 days as we approach your weekend. The weekend right now looking decent, rather cool on Saturday, and warming up a bit as we head into Sunday, but the warmest day so far looks to be Monday at 65 degrees. Again, these temperatures are a little bit below normal, but still pretty nice out there with all of that sunshine, so I don't think we could ask for much better conditions. And then a chance of a storm system moving in next week.
Yeah, definitely.
A smoggy day in Boise town.
They are lyrics that many Idahoans could relate to. A song about the gloom of valley inversions.
Where was the treasure in the valley? Out of source were the people I knew.
I think how many people get depressed, and it all translates into stress and things that you want to escape from.
Escape is what led Mike Kaplan to Idaho. A veteran of the Hollywood film industry, he found retreat and a permanent home in Caldwell. It was paradise until he heard a weather warning on a Channel 6 newscast.
I said, yellow air alert. I mean, this is Idaho. What does that mean?
It meant that the Treasure Valley, which is clear and beautiful most of the time, was not immune to a choking haze. And for Kaplan, that led to some musical inspiration.
Caldwell is covered, Napa is draped,
Local singer-songwriter Steve Eaton lent his voice to the musical parody, singing Kaplan's lyrics set to the tune of A Foggy Day in London Town, a project Eaton quickly latched onto.
It's just a way to keep it on people's minds and make people want to, think about what's going on and then do something.
And that's what both men hope happens, action that will bring results.
And in the smoggy Boise town, the sun was shining, but we're still adrift.
It starts with a dip in cool water, fording across a mountain river to this, something much more comfortable.
How's it feel?
Pretty awesome.
Josh Lockland is a hot springs junkie, and in this state, it's easy for him to get his fix.
There are 340 hot springs in Idaho. Most are just a trickle, but it's the soakable ones, like here at Rocky Canyon, that get the most attention.
So much attention that many of these places across Idaho are getting trashed.
A lot of the hot springs that are more accessible or off a road or a short hike, you really see a lot of garbage.
Before every soak, Lockland cleans up what he can. A small part of his green living mantra. The bigger part is simply being out here.
We live here in Idaho, and it's so easy to just come out and sit here and, sort of reconnect with nature.
That's a message Josh wants to share. In 1999, he started the IdahoHotSprings.com website, a directory to relaxing soaks across the state. His theory, guide people to the outdoors so they can see for themselves.
You get to see firsthand how important the environment is, why we need it. It's all part of a greater thing. You can see how important it is to take care of wildlife if you see wildlife firsthand.
Not that he doesn't question the wisdom of advertising what he wants to protect.
I've always worried about that. Am I bringing the wrong kind of people out here? Am I creating more harm than good? And I look at the site as an opportunity to educate those that would come out here.
And with more and more people visiting these outdoor sanctuaries, Lockland says much more education is needed. Near Crouch, Lincoln Graves, today's Channel 6 News.
Zipping!
Head up into the hills above Horseshoe Bend, and you'll see people flying through the air.
It just feels like you're soaring like a bird through the air. It's really fun.
Zip Idaho is the latest spot for high-altitude adventure in southwest Idaho.
Ready to zip?
See you down there.
It's certainly not the first zip line in the state, but they boast of themselves as the longest. And the idea to build this web of wire was born out of earth-friendly ambition.
I thought it would be a good, low-impact way to kind of develop my property.
Property that's been in Fall's family for 5 generations.
It's nice, being able to give myself a way to make an income and take care of the land instead of, I think it would be a shame if we ever had to, sell it or subdivide it.
Fall also believes green living is outdoor living and wants to let people experience that.
I'd like to keep improving it, make it a nice place for people to come and enjoy the Idaho wilderness, basically.
Slip it on like a sash.
A fun way to do so, I thought, as I suited up for a ride.
So are you good with heights? You get nervous?
No. Or so I thought. But the tone of a voice never lies. It's a little adventure living, outdoor living, and green living all rolled into one. Lincoln Graves, today's Channel 6 News!